Number 7. Dhaulagiri. Located entirely within Nepal, is a towering giant that rises to 8,167 meters above sea level, making it the highest peak in the world contained within a single country. Since its first known successful ascent, on May 13, 1960, by a joint team from Switzerland, Austria, and Nepal, Dhaulagiri has become both a sacred destination and a formidable challenge in the hearts of countless climbers. What makes it even more striking is its dramatic geography. Just 34 kilometers east of Dhaulagiri stands Annapurna, and between the two lies the Koli Gandaki Gorge, one of the deepest canyons on Earth. This river valley separates two 8,000-meter giants and creates one of the most staggering vertical contrasts found anywhere on the planet. On its southern and western flanks, Dhaulagiri's vertical relief exceeds 4,000 meters. From the floor of the Koli Gandaki Gorge, the mountain appears to surge abruptly from the earth, an awe-inspiring spectacle of raw power. It is perhaps this sheer relief and unique geological formation that set Dhaulagiri apart among the 8,000-meter peaks. The summit is composed of dolomite and limestone, rocks that once rested quietly beneath the ocean floor. Over hundreds of millions of years, tectonic upheavals lifted and compressed these marine deposits into the very roof of the world. This makes Dhaulagiri distinct from most other Himalayan giants, like Everest and Cho-Oyu, whose summits are largely made of granite formed deep within the earth. In this sense, Dhaulagiri preserves both the ancient memory of vanished oceans and the violent scars of the Himalayan origin. Yet to conquer such a peak is anything but easy. Since the first ascent, Dhaulagiri has seen 691 successful summits, but has also claimed 87 lives, a fatality rate of 12.5%. Among Nepal's 8,000-meter peaks, this high rate of loss is especially sobering. The most commonly used northeast ridge is relatively more accessible, but even it is riddled with crevasses, steep ice walls, and avalanche danger. The more daunting south face and northwest ridge remain unclimbed in full to this day. In particular, the south face is regarded as one of the most difficult climbing routes in the modern mountaineering world. For those who do not aim to reach the summit, but still wish to experience the mountain's majesty, the Dhaulagiri circuit trek offers a rare opportunity. This demanding high-altitude route winds through remote mountains, glaciers, and over two high passes above 5,000 meters, spanning more than 200 kilometers. The trek typically takes 14 to 18 days to complete. With almost no fixed facilities, trekkers must carry tents and supplies while facing harsh conditions, altitude sickness, crevasse hazards, and navigation challenges. Number 6. CHGO, or UB contrast. CHGO or U is often considered the easiest of the 8,000-meter peaks. Its fatality rate is just 1/25th that of Annapurna, making it statistically one of the safest. This may give the impression of being straightforward, but one should not forget its immense height of 8,188 meters. Straddling the border between Tibet in China and Nepal's Koshi province, Cho-Oyu sits at the westernmost end of the Khumbu subsection of the Himalayas, close to Makalu and Everest, and only about 20 kilometers from Everest itself. Its name in Tibetan means turquoise goddess, and when viewed from afar, the snow-covered summit reflects a faint turquoise hue under the sunlight, lending it an air of mystery and sanctity. The mountain lies close to the Nangpa La, a famous glacial pass that historically linked Tibet and Nepal's Khumbu region, long serving as a trade route between Tibetans and Sherpas. Thanks to this strategic location and its relatively gentle northwest ridge route, Cho-Oyu has earned a reputation as the technically least demanding of the 8,000-meter peaks. Still, climbing at extreme altitude is never easy. Even on sea, every step in the thin air is a test of human endurance. Since the first successful ascent by an Austrian team on October 19, 1954, more than 4,000 climbers have reached its summit. Many of them used Cho-Oyu as preparation before attempting Everest. Yet despite its friendliness, Cho-Oyu has also claimed 52 lives, a reminder that easier does not mean safe. Cho-Oyu's climbing history began in 1952, when the British Himalayan Committee organized an expedition as preparation for their famous 1953 Everest attempt. That effort failed. 2 years later, on October 19, 1954, Austrian climbers Herbert Tichy and Joseph Jackler, together with Sherpa Pozhang Dawa Lama, reached the summit via the northwest ridge. This achievement made Cho-Oyu the fifth 8,000-meter peak ever climbed by humans. Today, Cho-Oyu has become a major destination for commercial expeditions. Compared to technically demanding peaks like Everest or K2, it is often chosen by climbers with strong physical fitness but less technical experience. However, its accessibility has also raised unique issues. The summit has no prominent marker or cairn, leaving climbers sometimes uncertain whether they truly stand at the highest point. Traditionally, climbers plant prayer flags at the top, but this symbolic act does not always coincide with the exact technical summit. These ambiguities have led to debates within the mountaineering community, often noted by Elizabeth Hawley, the famed chronicler of Himalayan climbing records. Number 5. Makalu. In Hindu mythology, Shiva is both a destroyer and a creator, known by the title Mahakala, or the Great Black One. This name embodies not just destructive force but also the deepest mysteries and impermanence of the universe. In the eastern Himalayas stands a peak that bears this powerful name, Makalu, at 8,485 meters. Makalu is the world's fifth highest mountain. It sits on the border between Nepal and China, about 19 kilometers southeast of Everest, as part of the Mahalinga section of the Himalayas. While Everest is world-renowned, Makalu remains more solitary and enigmatic. Its massive pyramid shape, with 4 razor-sharp ridges converging at the summit, gives it a unique silhouette among the giants. Since 19th-century British explorers first measured its height, Makalu has inspired both awe and fear for its remoteness and isolation. By December 2024, about 800 people had successfully summited, while 50 climbers had lost their lives, giving it a fatality rate of 6.3%. In addition to its main peak, Makalu has 2 notable subsidiary summits, Makalu 2 and Chomo Lonzo, together with Everest. These form a spectacular cluster of high mountains within Makalu Baran National Park. This vast 1,500 square kilometer protected area hosts ecosystems ranging from tropical forests to alpine landscapes, over 3,000 plant species, 440 bird species, and 75 mammals including the endangered red panda, snow leopard, and Himalayan black bear find refuge here. For local communities, Makalu is a sacred mountain, believed to be home to protective deities. Climbers often hold prayer ceremonies before expeditions, seeking blessings for safe return. This fusion of spirituality and nature transforms Makalu expeditions into not only physical but also spiritual journeys. The first ascent was achieved on May 15, 1955, by a French expedition led by Jean Franco. Among the summit team were Lionel Terre and Jean Cousy, who completed the climb without supplemental oxygen, a feat that remains extraordinary even today. Though quieter than Everest, Makalu continues to attract skilled climbers seeking to test their limits against its formidable slopes. Number 4. Lhotse. Standing 8,516 meters high, Lhotse lies less than a few kilometers from Everest, with which it shares much of its climbing route. Often regarded as Everest's shadow, its very name means South Peak. Yet despite its modest reputation, Lhotse is far from an ordinary mountain. Seen from the south, the massive Lhotse face dominates the skyline, a sheer wall that makes Lhotse one of the most visually striking peaks from a distance. However, it appears as part of a cluster of Himalayan giants above 8,000 meters. The standard route to its main summit follows the same path as the Everest South Col route for much of the way. Climbers ascend through the Khumbu Icefall and the Western Khwam before diverging near Camp 3, while the left fork leads to Everest's South Col. The right turns toward Lhotse's steep and dangerous couloir known as the Rice Couloir, which forms the final section to the summit. That although the early part of the route is well established, Lhotse's true challenge lies in its upper sections. Its south face, with more than 3,300 meters of near-vertical rock and ice, is considered one of the most difficult climbs in the world. Treacherous weather, avalanches, and the sheer scale of the wall have earned it the name the Death Face, deterring many would-be climbers. As of May 2022, 1,089 climbers had reached the summit, while 22 perished during attempts. Another 10 lost their lives on its even more difficult neighboring peak, Lhotse Shah. The first attempt on Lhotse was made in 1955 by an international Himalayan expedition led by Norman Dyrenforth, with members from Austria, Switzerland, and the United States. supported by 200 Sherpas and porters. Though forced to retreat due to bad weather, they produced the first detailed map of the Everest region and filmed cultural documentaries. The first successful ascent came on May 18, 1956, when Swiss climbers Ernst Reiss and Fritz Luxinger stood on its summit, etching their names into Himalayan history. In the decades that followed, Lhotse became the site of many mountaineering milestones. On May 12, 1970, Austrian climbers first summited Lhotse Shah, while in 1999, Czech climber Zuzana Kuchkova became the first woman to summit without supplemental oxygen. Though it often stands in Everest's shadow, Lhotse continues to draw climbers, seeking extreme challenges beyond the mainstream. For those unwilling to simply follow the well-trodden path to Everest, Lhotse remains a silent but powerful beacon of ambition and endurance.